Can someone please confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, bhai, it's visible.
Okay, right. So we're done with our Azure Identity Management, under which we learned system and user identity management, right? Now we are pending with Key Vault and encryption. So I'll start with Key Vault first, and then we'll do encryption tomorrow. And then along with that, we are going to do the practical. Tomorrow we are going to start a little bit early, 11:30, right? And even if we finish uh, before our 2 hours, we are not going to start networking, right? That's a different segment. So tomorrow we are going to put an end on compute segment along with all these topics. Please go ahead and start watching those videos which I have shared on networking. Those are very important for you to understand the networking concepts, right? So please go ahead and do that. As of now, let's start with Azure Key Vault. So now what is Key Vault? Azure Key Vault is one of the PaaS service, platform as a service, right? Azure Key Vault is a cloud service for securely storing and accessing secret. A secret is anything that you want to tightly control access to, such as API keys, password, certificate, or cryptographic keys. Right? A Key Vault service supports two type of containers. Forget you can ignore this one. As of now, I'm just reading the definition. Don't worry, I'll explain it. Ignore this one. Key Vault can be used to encrypt OS disk of virtual machines. This we are going to use later. What do we have under Vault services? So we have keys, we have secrets, we have certificates. I'm just reading the definition, guys. Don't worry. Right? Vault access, how can we access this? One is RBAC, simple, like we have been doing. RBAC works in the same method, but we have additional method also here. By the way, RBAC is recommended by Microsoft, so we can use that. But along with RBAC, we have policy method also to access Key Vault. We'll see that when we actually go on the when we actually do the practical. Okay. Here another definition. Azure Key Vault is a cloud service used to manage keys. I think it's similar. Uh, Key Vault eliminates that. Yes, this is better. I'm still going to explain. Don't worry. So here it is. Azure Key Vault is a cloud service used to manage keys, secrets, and certificate. Key Vault eliminates the need of the developer to store securely information in their code. It allows you to centralize the storage of your application secrets, uh, which greatly reduces the chances of the secret may be leaked. Fine. So what it is, before I go to Key Vault, let me quickly open. Maybe, yeah, this is fine. This website is fine. So let's say from here, I want to log in to draw.io, or let's say, uh, okay, banking application. Here I want to log in here somewhere, user ID and password. Now this user ID and password will travel to the till the server. Right? It will authenticate that. Along with that, even the code will have their internal user ID and password. One, my user ID and password is a different thing, right? This is traveling, it's a different thing. But in a banking system or any application, uh, for that matter, let's say Amazon. Amazon also, when you order something, when you add something, let's open this one. When you add something, when you order something, it is going to its database, right? We can go back to the previous example that my app server is going to my database and making some changes. For example, if I click on something, let's say this one, okay, I click on something, right? So it will go and make those changes to the database that, okay, this user has purchased. So if we had 100 items, it should be 99 over there. So it is making some changes to the database, right? It is traveling to their database in backend. This is just application server. Whatever I'm doing, I'm doing it, but servers are working in backend also. So if I purchase something, one will go to my cart, but the another step this code will have to take that, okay, this buyer has purchased one, put one in his card, but the another one, another task this code will have, go to this database. If I had 99 quantity of this one, now this user has purchased two of them, so make it 97, right? So next time someone is planning to purchase, it should know, okay, it is there in the stock. So let's say if I had only one, this user has purchased one, so mark it as zero and show some pop-up out of stock or anything. But in any manner, this server is making some changes here. To make changes in database, obviously there has to be a user ID and password, right? So this machine is not directly accessing this user ID and password. It can, it can directly access that. If your code has your user ID and password, it can. But what will happen then? Your code, let me see. Your code will have the user ID and password in plain text, which you might not like or which anyone will not like. That, let me see if we can. Give me 1 minute, guys. Let me close unnecessary browsers I have on my other window. Yeah. So I can at least open this only. Here it is. So what we can do is, or what developers can do, they can put everything here. This is, I'm not saying this is exactly code and you will be able to see it very easily, but hackers, they will be able to see it. They can inspect your code. Maybe they can inspect something. They can inspect your network traffic. They can do all these things, right? And using that, they will be able to easily check your user ID and password if you're directly traveling or if you're directly putting it there in your code. For example, approver, and after this, if you have something, user ID and password, anything here, right? They will be able to track it. They will be able to pick it up. They will be able to fetch the information. It will allow them to do it if you directly have it in your code somewhere here, right? So what do I want to do in my code? Instead of putting the user ID and password, this machine, it's planning to make some changes here. So instead of user putting user ID and password, right? This machine having access on this one, it's a different thing. And having user ID and password, it's a different thing. So instead of going directly, what I will do is I will go via key vault. Now this key vault will go here. This machine will go to key vault, right? It will have that user ID and password, and that user ID and password will be sent here. Right? So why this is not possible for a hacker to do this? Because this application is over the internet. It is easier for a hacker to intercept something, right? But using this method, you're redirecting your traffic over a private network to a key vault, and from key vault again, it will go here. So it becomes difficult. It's an extra layer of security on your network. So instead of putting your user ID and password here directly, what that developer will do, that developer will put that user ID and password in a key vault, and this machine will go to a key vault to access that. The example I had shared was, I think, under here. Let's say this machine wants to make some changes under a SQL database. So this is not traveling directly. This will go to a key vault. Key vault will have that user ID or password or secret, whatever is needed, right? And from there, it will go to this SQL. So it's an extra layer of security. That is the reason you use key vault. That is one reason. Uh, we were talking about, we started with disk encryption, right? Now, what is disk encryption? I'll show you later. But just in a nutshell, if I want to encrypt my disk, as in put an extra layer of security on my disk, let's say lock the disk, right? So to lock that disk, I will require a key. Either I can have that key directly or I can use that key from here. If I'm using it directly, there are high chances that it can be compromised, or I can come from Azure Key Vault. Similarly, certificates. Now, if you use any website, any banking website or anything, you will see that will be a secure website, right? If you see here, this is your connection is secure. And why is it secure? Because it has a valid certificate. And this certificate will have n number of information. So I can host this certificate directly on my server where my application server is. I can directly host it on my server, or I can again keep it in my key vault securely and then just use it from there. So I can keep secrets, which can be user ID and password. I can keep this one encryption keys, and I can keep certificates in your key vault. That's what the definition says. If you go and check the definition of key vault, it says keys, secrets, and certificate. Normally, it shows here that keys mostly they are used for disk encryption. Secrets they are used. Look at this. The app service is trying to make some changes in SQL. So that app service, instead of having that user ID and password directly in the code, it will go to Key Vault, fetch that information, then go to SQL. Right? And certificates, the route, the example which I shared with you. So we can either have all this information directly here, but then it is not that secure. It is an extra layer of security. So that is what your Azure Key Vault is. If you see this example, let me zoom it out. Look at this here. This application gateway. Now, what is application gateway? You don't have to understand, worry about it now. This application gateway is here. Everything is here, but it is going out of this network, and there is a key vault kept. It is pulling the SSL certificate from there. Why is it doing it? Why are we keeping it separately? So then it is out of this network. Maybe if someone is trying to penetrate my network, at least they should not have access to my secrets. Okay, that is the reason we use Azure Key Vault. Let me go to portal and show you the Key Vault. Questions which you might get in your interview. One thing, why do we use Key Vault? You should remember for keys, secrets, and certificate. Few other questions, I'll show it to you. So if I go here and search for Azure Key Vault or Key Vaults, this is what I will get. I've recently used, so it is there. You click on that, you're going to see your existing key vaults. If you want to see the deleted key vaults, you can do it from here. Check the deleted key vaults. As of now, I don't have any. If you want to create a key vault, click on create. Select your subscription. Select your resource group. No compulsion on resource group. It can be anywhere. Give your key vault name. Let's say I'm calling it fourth key vault. By the way, look at this. If I try to create a test key vault, it won't. It should be unique, not only in my subscription, universally unique. Because I don't have any test key vault in my environment. Let's see. If I show you my existing key vaults, look at this. I don't have any key vault which says test. Yet I'm not able to create any key vault which names test. Why? Because it has to be universally unique. Universally as in Azure. So even if some other person in other subscription, they have a key vault named test, I won't be able to create it. It has to be minimum 3 words, 3 characters, maximum 24 characters in length, all lowercase. Even if I type this one, I think it won't take. Here it is. Okay, it's already in use. Let's say if it is taking all uppercase. Okay, it is taking lowercase, it's not applicable. So lowercase, uppercase doesn't matter, but it needs to be unique. I'm just naming it as UT-Kloud fourth key vault for our understanding. Region, I'm keeping it as East US. Pricing tier, we have standard, we have premium. HSM, it's completely a different topic. You don't have to worry about it. So we are not covering HSM. So pricing tier will always go with standard. Okay, soft delete. What does it mean? The soft delete is the ability of the soft delete via Azure portal has been deprecated. You can create a new key vault. The ability to turn off. Okay. Initially, we had an option to turn off. That's what I can understand reading this. But now we can't disable the soft delete. What do you mean by soft delete, by the way? If I simply come here and show you my key vaults, and I mean, that's not optional nowadays, so we don't have to worry. But if it was optional, earlier it was optional. If I disable it, what will happen? And if I keep it enabled, what is the difference? Let's have a look at that. So I come here and I delete this key vault. So if soft delete wasn't enabled for this one, then this would be gone from here forever. No option to recover. But now because soft delete is enabled and it is mandatory, if I go to manage deleted vaults, it should be there. I hope it is there. Let's see. Here it is. Can you see? I can re-click and recover. This is soft delete. Got it, guys? What is soft delete? Not only here, everywhere soft delete का मतलब यही होता है. Even in my recycle bin, if I've kept soft delete, I delete something from my desktop, it goes to my recycle bin. I can go there and I can restore it again. But if I don't keep soft delete on, it will be deleted directly. And from here, I can recover it. Or if I want permanently to be deleted, simply purge it. And that's it's gone then. Now you can't recall it from soft delete. So that is what your soft delete is. Days to retain the deleted vaults. If you delete something, how many days? Do you want it to be there for 90 days, minimum 7 days, maximum 90 days? I'll just stick to 7 days. Purge protection. If I enable the purge protection, so even if it is deleted, I will not be able to purge it. Like I did it here. I purged one key vault. I will not be able to do it. So it will go there. It will be there for 7 days, and after 7 days it will be deleted automatically. So there is no option. I won't have any option where I created something today and then I deleted immediately today. That will not be possible. So let's say that someone has asked me to create a key vault with this name in East US, right? Or East US 2. And I created this in East US, and retain days are 90 days, and purge protection is enabled. By the way, once it is enabled, so it cannot be disabled. So I'm keeping it as 7 days only, and I create it. Okay, I create it. I hand it over to client that okay, fine, your key vault has been created, and here it is. Let it get created, and I'll show it to you. This is the name. Client has requested East US 2. By mistake, I created this in East US. Here it is. What do you think you can do now? Now, client, you have handed over to client, and then client says, no, you created it wrong. I asked you to create it in East US. 2, you have created this in East US. What do you think you can do? This is the one. I asked you to create it in East US. You did East US 2. You did it in East US. What do you think, guys, you can do? What will you do normally do? Let's say there's a machine and you have done something wrong, irreversible change. What will you do to a machine?
We
Delete and
can
create.
we have action
Sim-
move action is there.
yeah, delete it, right? And create another one. Here, if I delete it, Will I be able to create another one with the same name?
No.
No, right? Now, because purge deletion, protection to purge deletion was enabled, let's see if I can purge it completely. I can create it if I purge it from here, right? As of now, can I create another key vault with this name? Forget me, can you even create it? No. Even if it is there,
No.
no one else will be able to create it. And now let's see if I purge it. Can you see? Failed to purge the key vault because it was not allowed. I have made sure that purge was disabled. So now this will be there for 7 days. You can't create another one for 7 days. No one else can create. So either you'll have to wait for 7 days or there are some other methods, moving resources. That's a different thing. But did you understand the purge concept? Aim here is not to show you the resource mover. Aim here is to show you the purge option. Do you understand what is purge option? If that purge protection is enabled, you won't be able to delete it. If it wasn't, then like we deleted the last one, you can delete it. So here the only option I have is to recover or just keep it there, leave it there for 7 days and it will be deleted. Then you come back and create it. Got it, guys? Options clear for creation.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Select resource group, select subscription, give a name, a unique name, region, and that's all. That's all thing you have to do at least here. So let's go ahead and create another one. I'll just name it fifth. East US is fine. 7 days. This time disable purge protection. So even if I delete it, it should be gone. Click next. Access configuration. This is important. See, I told you that there are two ways where you can give access of a key vault. One is Azure role-based access control. And see, it is clearly written there. It is recommended. Microsoft is recommending it. And I hope all of you know how RBAC works. If you want to give someone complete access, owner access, reader access, whatever, you can do that. But if you don't want to deal with uh, RBAC, you can give policy access also. What policy does, simply you just add the roles and instead of owner, etc., you come here and you decide that this user should have what kind of access on key. Should he be able to list, update, create, import, delete? I don't want him to delete. On secrets, I told you a key vault will have keys, a key vault will have secret and certificate, right? It will always have these three things. So under policy, it gives you a granular access where you can decide that what all a user can do or not. But it is only applicable if you really want that. Otherwise, it is recommended and widely used. Azure RBAC roles, right? RBAC is sufficient enough. But still, if you should know at least if they ask that, do you know about key vault policy? Yes. Instead of RBAC, we can use policy. Under policy, it gives you a granular access where you can go user by user. You can add users, right? You can create more users. Which users will you be able to add? Obviously, the users which are there in your Entra ID or user assigned
Right.
same. I mean, whatever you see under here, you will see the same user. Just because you're going to policy, that does not mean you will see some different user, nothing. Users will be same. It can be either system Azure managed identities or some end user or anything. The only difference is यहाँ पर आप पूरा एक बंडल में बता रहे हो कि यार contributor दे दो, right? So whatever contributor is, he will get it. Azure Key Vault officer दे दो, whatever it is there. Here you have the granular access. That fine. I'm not naming it under label. I will do the cherry picking. Okay, this person should have under key. He should be able to update. Get and list सबको होना चाहिए. Otherwise they won't be able to see. Certificate also get and list. ठीक है. This person should not be able to create any key. This person should be able to create secret. No, I don't want him to create any certificate. This person should be able to import it. This person should not be able to recover it. Import is fine. Delete, no one should have delete access. Backup, yes. Recover, yes. Restore, yes. Delete, no. So you can do the cherry picking कि आपको किस तरह का access चाहिए, and then you just simply go ahead next, 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 and done. That's the only difference you have between policy and RBAC. Either you can have policy or you can have RBAC. You can't have both of them. You can't say that I'm looking for one user should be owner, for other user I'll select with policy. If you go via policy, all users will have to be selected via policy. Is this clear, guys, to everyone? Yes, no, any doubts, any questions?
Yes, clear.
No. Now, why are you planning to use this key vault? Are you planning to use it for deployment? Are you planning to use it for deployment, as in then you can keep your scripts, etc. here, template deployment or disk encryption. So you check all the boxes, fine. At which kind of resources should be able to access this? For example, I'm deploying a virtual machine, hundreds of virtual machine, and I don't want every time that pop-up to appear, right? And you type your user ID and password over there. You remember in our PowerShell script, you guys typing the user ID and PowerShell? Do you remember, guys?
Yes.
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 What other option do I have in there? If I want to, I don't want that every time. What other option do I have there? I can simply go to that script and add a parameter user ID and password. What will happen if I do that? Will it work or will it not work? If I add a parameter, PowerShell parameter here, stating user ID and password, so pop-up should not be there and it should take it directly from my script. Is it possible? What do you think?
Possible.
Possible. What is the drawback? What is the drawback of that?
Password, user and password.
Sorry?
Password,
Hmm.
we
What
don't
about that?
know about.
Sorry, cause not getting you. What is the drawback? What about password?
We don't know about the password registration.
Okay. Are you getting it, guys? That if it is technically possible, I can have another parameter here, can have user ID and password, I can have credential parameter, I can add that. But what is the drawback there? That whenever I'm sharing my script, right? I'm saving my script, I'm sharing it anywhere. So my user ID and password will be in plain text. Anyone who's not even authorized person, because script is something it's kept and sometimes बहुत सारे लोग उसमें आके कुछ edit करते हैं कुछ change करते हैं, right? And not all of them should know my user ID and password, so it will be in plain text. So instead of having my credential directly here, I will have another line of code, and that line will say that go to so and so key, say one, I can have credentials directly, right? Username and password in plain text. I can have this. Other one, I can have another one which will say that you should maybe give the path or key vault name, right? Key vault details that you should go to this key vault. Under this key vault, use this secret. Under this secret, user ID and password is there. Now, if I do this, even if someone has access to my PowerShell script, will he be able to go ahead and directly check my password just because I have written the path of the script? If I've just written the
No.
path of the keyword? No. Why? पाथ लिखने से कुछ नहीं होगा, वो कीवर्ड अपने आप में बहुत सिक्योर चीज है. That key vault will open only for that user, the user which is running this PowerShell script. And most of the time, you do not run PowerShell scripts from your individual IDs. In training, we have done that. Normally, you don't do that. Normally, you will always have one service account, and using that service account, you cannot log into portal, but you can use that in programmatic manner only from PowerShell. And that service account only can run PowerShell script. So here on Key Vault, I will go ahead and give access only to that particular service account. Getting it, guys? And why am I using PowerShell? Why am I using Key Vault? So I can use my secret. I can save my keys. I can save my certificates. So now here, this is what it is asking, that why do you want the key vault? Do you want this key vault to disk encryption? Do you want this key vault to deploy virtual machines? Do you want this key vault for Azure Resource Management template deployment? You can create one key vault for disk encryption, another key vault for virtual machine, up to you. Or you can create one key vault and use all the services, up to you. So as of now, we are taking all of them. Is this part clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Next is networking. That this key vault should be accessible from where? Right? This key vault, if someone has the correct path, where should it be accessible from? So if I keep all network, it will be selected from all network irrespective of the virtual network, etc. Anything. But if I keep it selected network, then I can select only particular virtual network that it will be allowed from this virtual network. Now we haven't covered VNet, so maybe you will not get it. But this option is there. Well, initially we'll go with public access. Do you want this to be accessed publicly? Yes or no? If I keep it open, you will be able to access it publicly. No one does that, but as of now, we are doing it. Fine. And all networks. Click next. Tag we know. Simply review and create. This is how you create a key vault. Once your key vault is ready, this is how it looks like. Or let's wait for the new one to be created. Yes, guys. Meanwhile, any questions, any doubts? Tomorrow, we are going to see encryption. And then we are going to use this in a live scenario. We are going to use a managed identity. We are going to use disk encryption. We are going to use keys and key vault. And combining all of them, I'll show you how can you encrypt a disk on a virtual machine using key vault, key surveys, identity management. ये सबको use करके how can you combine them and use somewhere. I'll show it to you tomorrow. So this is how a key vault looks like. All of you know overview, activity log, IAM सबको पता है, right? We have seen it here. We are not going to use policy. We are using RBAC. Similarly, who's already owner will be owner here. Same thing. Tags, diagnose problem, access policy. Either you're using IAM or you're using access policy. So access policy you're not using, so it is not available. Here you can change that. We are using RBAC. If I use vault policy, then the policies will be appear here, but we are not using vault policy. So okay, here's the main thing, that why are we using one key vault? So key vault can be used for keys. Now what can be a key? You can import a key or you can generate a key. I'm just generating a key. What is the name? I'm saying first key. It is just generating a random. I mean, this is not random. This also means a lot of things, but you don't have to worry. This is completely cryptographic information. You don't get it. Security team will share it with you. कि यहाँ पर RSS select करना है, EC select करना है. Do you want the size, key size to be 2048? You don't have to worry. It will be there for sure. You don't even know this. You won't even study about it. You don't even have to know about it. It has to be there in their input form. Do you want to activate it with a future date? Should there be an expiration date? This is basic. I hope you understand. Should it be enabled now or disable and I'll enable it later? So I'm making it enable. Just create it. That's it. Name, give it the name, select it, and your key will be created. We are getting some error. What is it? Okay. I think I don't have sufficient access on this one. Let's go ahead and check. Fine, let's do it tomorrow. We have only 3 minutes left. So we're done with key vault theory part. We are done with managed identity theory and practical. Disk encryption theory and practical both are pending. Tomorrow we are going to see disk encryption. First, we are going to start with key vault practical, right? Then we'll do encryption, disk theory and practical. And we are going to see one practical combining all of this, where I'll be using Azure managed identity, key vault, and disk encryption. So how do we encrypt a disk on a VM? Why do we do that? How is it useful? That I'll explain tomorrow. So why do we do that? How do we do that? We are going to see tomorrow. And then we are done with our compute segment. We'll start network segment. Very crucial. I can tell you guys that even if you don't understand few services of PaaS, it's okay. ये नहीं आता है, it's okay. वो नहीं आता है, fine. You can say कि मैंने PaaS पे ज्यादा काम नहीं किया है. You can say keyword पे नहीं किया. But networking is something you can't say that I haven't worked on networking or I don't understand networking. Networking is backbone. So everyone should know networking. Everyone should know. No doubt in that. In this complete training, we are not even discussing SQL. Why? Because in interview, you can simply say, no, I have not worked on SQL. We had a different team. But you can't do that for networking. You can do that for many services, but you can't do that for networking. Networking, everyone should know. Right? So next session, next weekend, we are going to start networking as your network segment. We are going to cover many things under whatever is there. We are going to cover many things. It is a bit confusing. So please go through those videos, start going through, watch those videos. If you have any questions, any doubts, please do ask, right? And then we are going to start networking. But tomorrow we are still on compute. We're going to finish Azure disk encryption using Azure managed identity in Key Vault, and then we are done with Azure Compute. Any doubts, any questions, please feel free to put it in WhatsApp group. We have only 1 minute left here. Uh, Gauss, if you're done with your machine, delete it. Abhijit, if you're done with your machine, please delete it. Not assigning any task, guys. Not assigning any task for today. Keep practicing. Go ahead and watch those recording. Watch today's recording also. If you have any doubts, please put it on WhatsApp so I can cover it tomorrow. I don't want to come back again to compute segment once we are moved to networking segment. So if you have any questions, please do let me and we'll see that. Right? See you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we are starting 11:30. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.